I'm pretty sure all his teeth are going to fall out, and he's going to get wrinkles. And
I've already got the wrinkles, baby. I don't know what you're talking
we're
about.
not talking about your butt.
Welcome to The Cauldron, a podcast hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. In each episode, Ed and Jacob will have free-flowing conversations about life, culture, and personal growth. Expect to hear from storytellers, authors, experts, life gurus, thought leaders, and influencers. The Cauldron is a place where concoctions of a lot of ideas are brewed down to potions that are sometimes important and useful, sometimes eccentric and bizarre, but always just what you need. The Cauldron podcast may contain explicit language and thematic elements not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
No thought too dumb.
No question too deep.
The conversation starts here. Welcome to The Cauldron.
Hey, Jacob, how you doing, man?
What's up, Ed? I'm doing great, man. Oh,
stretching a little bit?
Yeah.
How was your workout this morning?
It was killer.
Killer? Nice. My workout this morning, I took a shower.
Man.
That's all I could do this morning. It's been a rough week.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
On the upside, I did take a shower. And yeah, my water works now. So
hey.
That's awesome.
For the listeners who don't know, Jacob was several days without water at his apartment. And we'll leave that probably to another day. But so yeah,
it's just like that Otis Redding song that I love so much. You don't miss your water till your well runs dry.
Well,
by the way, big thank you for having me over so I could at least wash my friggin' clothes.
Well, I mean, you were starting to smell, man. We needed. We had an impromptu Magic the Gathering game, and Jacob come over and did some laundry so that he could stay up to the quality that we require of him. Of course, right now, stand up for us, Jacob.
Okay.
The fit today,
pretty good.
Yeah, pull your hair out of your face. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has a Chef Boyardee dart ravioli. Probably on somebody else, it would be a midriff. It's kind of a tank top.
Is that a loss for words?
I mean, I'm not sure what we would call it. And then he's got these tiny little shorts on. He does have his underwear sticking out, and you can see the dick on his leg today, folks. That's right. I'm
We're gonna officially just put you on Dick Watch. Anytime I've got these shorts on, you're on Dick Watch.
So I don't know how much you want to get into this part.
Okay.
We might talk about it later because we got a bunch to talk about today. But your hair looks so good down, Jacob. It looks so good. Oh, it smells so good too.
Oh God, Ed, I hate you.
So we're coming off of the worst week of our lives last week, people.
It was just terrible.
We, as you all know, we are in the massage profession as well as the horror profession.
Yeah, horror.
The horror profession. And you know that those two things are not the same.
No, they shouldn't be.
And they're not in the same realm. But in our day jobs, we have several clinics and a school. Mm-hmm. And we both work there. And one of the things that is necessary for survival is to have an automated appointment system.
Yep. Scheduling software. And just going to be real graphic. Mm-hmm. We have for 15 years just about it used a online software program. I guess we'd call it an app today. Yeah.
Called Schedulicity.
Mm-hmm.
And in January, exactly on January 13th, Schedulicity was purchased by Vagaro, which is another scheduling platform.
Yes.
Vagaro didn't make any changes immediately except for adding its name to the Schedulicity logo.
I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah. We were all like, what? And so Vagaro intended to collapse the Schedulicity platform.
And just basically like roll it into theirs.
Yes. Forcing everyone who was a Schedulicity customer to either leave or go with Vagaro.
Yeah, go
Vagaro.
Yeah.
And so we decided to stay with Vagaro. It was one of the apps that we were already looking at.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it.
Yeah. And we knew we probably needed to change platforms. And so we were looking to change it the first of the year. We just had to do this a little ahead of time. So they gave us a deadline to switch to the Vagaro platform of August 10th. So we scheduled with them to do the changeover 2 Sundays ago. And we waited until the close of business that day. And we had talked about this switch over ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Amongst the staff and the management team.
It was very much a vibe of like the British are coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We had planned, in our organization, we have this, and I'll let Jacob explain this, but we have this concept called we aren't going to McKay it.
Yeah. So for our Knoxville listeners, or anybody that was in any of the cities where there was a McKay's, like Chattanooga, Charleston, or something like that, and then Nashville, about 1.5 years ago, or was it just last year?
Last year.
So last year, McKay's organized an event. I'm not going to get in the minutia of it, but essentially, if you had visited each of their stores in one day, you got a gift certificate that increased for each one you hit sequentially.
A max of $800.
A max of $800.
On the card.
Let's just say you had 3 of your buddies that you didn't mind doing a little bit of a road trip, which honestly, the concept sounds pretty freaking cool.
Pretty fun.
And what's 4 times 800?
Yeah.
That's like $3,200 that everybody essentially could get. No, wait, that's not $3,000.
It's $800 per person. And if you had 4 people,
it would just add up.
Right.
And you could use it to buy like, video games, books, DVDs. Like McKay's actually is a pretty dope store.
We love what they do.
But they greatly, and I mean greatly underestimated how popular this event was going to be.
Yep.
And it resulted in multiple shutdowns of multiple roadways. People were just getting out of their cars and walking. And the heat that day, it was in the middle of summer. And there were people that were having symptoms of heat stroke. Some people did have heat stroke.
Yeah, and they're located not only in Tennessee. They have stores in Knoxville, Nashville, and Chattanooga in Tennessee, and they have 2 stores in North Carolina: Winston-Salem and Mebane, up in North Carolina. And so, if you visited all 5 of their stores on that day and got your little paper called a passport stamped by the store, you would receive $800.
Yeah. And the McKay's in Knoxville is located
on Paper Mill Drive,
which is where Ed's businesses are, like the main ones, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, just to give you a rough idea, people were so desperate to get to that McKay's in Knoxville because it is on a 2-lane road and no other way to get into it, right? So people were, it was like a UT football game had let out. People just walking on the roads.
Interstate was at a standstill
in both directions because we were kind of right in the middle of it. And it got so bad that the fire marshal closed the McKay's down because so many people were getting injured by heat exhaustion.
Well, our business had to close that day. Basically, students were sent home, et cetera, et cetera. I actually missed all of that.
Yeah, because you were also experiencing your own personal hell that morning.
I was experiencing my own personal crisis. Let's just say it that way. I was in process to go to a national meeting, and I'd gone to the airport here at McGee-Tyson in Knoxville, or Alcoa, and I had been boarded on a plane and then deplaned and then boarded back on a plane where it was, by the way, it was one of the hottest days that we had last summer.
Yes, it was.
And it was 99 degrees, And in the direct sun, it was a little hotter.
It was no joke.
No joke. And so we were sitting on the tarmac for 4 hours. 4 hours in a tin can without air conditioning. And they wouldn't let us off the plane.
And meanwhile, while Ed is doing that, I call him and I say, I don't know what the hell's going on. Something about McKay's giving money away. That's all I could suss out, right? And when I tell you it was gummed up in either direction, every road leading to Paper Mill from every direction was gridlock traffic and pedestrians just walking where there were no sidewalks, just walking between the cars. And I mean, it was just chaos. It was absolute chaos. So here at our businesses, we use the term, we're not going to McKay it, because it was such a lack of planning, preparation, and the execution was horrible.
Exactly. So we had planned in the most detailed way how all of this change from Schedulicity to Vagaro was going to take place. And we had notified staff over and over again. We use a communication tool app. And we had notified them that everybody was being signed out and that nobody was to sign in from 3:30 Sunday until the next day when we notified them.
This is called foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. That didn't happen. So we had two people, for a total of 17 times signed into the system, or attempted. They couldn't actually sign in, but they attempted to sign into the system, which messed up. I'm going to attempt to talk about these words because, I'm a techie, but I'm not a programmer or anything. The migration and mitigation. Migration being moving data, mitigation getting data to where it's supposed to go in the right area. Okay. Lord, it did not work.
No.
I have friends in other states that own schools and clinics that use the same software and did the same migration, and theirs went seamlessly.
Yeah.
Ours, not so much. So I spent almost 80 hours.
Oh, yeah, easy. Easy.
Last week, manually clearing the error list so that we could actually use the software.
And for the people that go, whoa, that sounds ridiculous, just use a different software. Well, we have tens of thousands of client information data on individual profiles saved in our Schedulicity that was then going to be defunct. It would have been next to impossible without a team of like 100 people working on around the clock to manually transfer all of that data into a brand new, different type of app. So it was very much a, yeah, you don't have to do this, but you're probably going to have to anyways.
Yep.
Shout out to our dear leader, Ed, and his perseverance, because God knows I couldn't have done what you did. And I'm glad I didn't have to. I'm actually glad that my issue last week was just not having water, because that was somehow less stressful than you having to do that.
I always try to look for the silver lining.
Where was it?
There wasn't one.
I was great to say.
I look for the silver lining. And in this situation, I was able to connect by just seeing names and stuff with some people I hadn't thought about in a while, clients from the past, Well,
that is kind of, that's a silver lining.
Down memory lane. But, it was a week, and there were multiple events that were taking place. We had orientation and graduation that weekend.
There was a lot of things
we
just
had
sprinkled
a continuing
on top
education
of all
class that was going on, and then it wound up that the end of that week I taught 2 seminars, one on Friday and one on Sunday. And then Monday we had new student orientation. So I don't feel like I have had more than 4 hours sleep on any day. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get sleep until
after this weekend.
Yeah.
We got a big thing coming up this weekend. We've been talking to you all about it for a long time. On October, no, I'm just joking. Okay. On August 2nd, Jacob, our dear beloved Fraddy Cat, is going to turn 30.
Yes, sir.
He's already looking a little weary.
Well,
his hair started to turn gray.
He's
getting a balding spot?
Everybody just heard how the past week and a half has been for both of us.
His knees pop when he stands up. He's already complaining about how working out is hurting his body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure all his teeth are going to fall out and he's going to get wrinkles. And
I've already got the wrinkles, baby.
We're not talking about your butt.
If you guys are also wondering why my voice sounds a little bit different, like why I sound like a Waffle House waitress,
because he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
A day?
No, he doesn't.
Not anymore. I'm clean. No. I was at a pro MMA fight for one of my teammates and friends, Jonathan Wade. There's a joke that Ed keeps making fun of me about. I don't know if I'll tell that story on this podcast, but essentially I got a lot of compliments on both the texture, look, and smell of my hair that night. That was unwanted, I will say. But congratulations to Jonathan Wade. He won his fight, and it was awesome. We about blew the roof off the top of the place screaming. So that's why my voice sounds this way.
I see.
Yep.
You also was going to talk a little bit about celebrity deaths, but I'm going to caution you, don't talk about Ozzy Osbourne's death.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a bunch to say.
I'll save it. Yeah, I didn't realize. Well, I'll let you tell.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But anyway, let's get into this episode, Ed. Come on.
Okay. So, as you all know, we've had 3 celebrity deaths. Obviously, I just mentioned Ozzy Osbourne. They always come in 3s.
Yep, that's literally the rule, I guess.
Yep. Then Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo on The Cosby Show. He drowned, and they were unable to revive him.
Oh, my God.
And then there was Hulk Hogan, who died of a heart attack. And I'm not going to have a lot to say. I'm going to let you talk about Hulk Hogan. Because you didn't even know who Malcolm Jamal Warner was.
Yeah.
Until Saturday, you're still considered a youngin. But after that, I expect you to know.
I got to know all these people, yeah.
I will say that Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo, like I said, was an ally. He was an upstanding human being. He was just a positive human being. He believed in women's rights to autonomy. He believed that no human was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He also believed that love is love.
Yeah.
And he and his family, they donated lots of money to these to different organizations and to these causes. And he's one of the people who really impacted me when he died.
Mm.
Not as much as Ozzy, as you'll hear later.
Yeah.
But that early 80s stardom is beginning to go away.
Yeah.
They're beginning to pass away. And then I don't have anything good to say about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Racist, bigot.
Just an overall terrible
got
person.
A ring of Cheetos around his mouth.
I mean, I will say for the people that like to separate art from the artist, I understand that there's a lot of people that the character Hulk Hogan, the WWE and WWF and NWA wrestler, is somebody that was an integral part of their childhood. Maybe you guys had action figures. Maybe you had a T-shirt that said Hulkamania Running Wild. I mean, I think we all, to some degree, liked the character Hulk Hogan, which is perfectly fine. But
I always hated his mustache.
Well,
that horseshoe mustache. Blech.
But Hulk Hogan, the person, the actual human being, not the character, was an absolute piece of shit. Mm-hmm. I will go on record as saying that. I have nothing positive really to say about the man. I really don't. I mean, I have a very close friend of mine who is a professional wrestler. I'll keep him anonymous, but he's a very close friend of mine. And I asked him like 2 years ago, even before Hulk Hogan died, I asked him like, what kind of legacy does the Hulkster have? Because this is when Hulk Hogan was really going on a huge tour and he was ripping his shirt off at Donald Trump MAGA events and stuff like that. And I mean, the professional wrestler told me that he was one of the worst wrestlers to ever work with, that if you watch any interview with anybody that worked with Hulk Hogan during his prime when Hulkamania was running wild, that he was the most selfish, that he only wanted to win. Even, you know, it is predetermined, but he would force himself in victories quite a bit of the time. He was the lapdog of Vince McMahon.
Oh, Vince McMahon happens to be the husband or former husband, I'm not sure which, of our
Department of Education,
the Secretary of the Department of Education, who doesn't know the difference between AI and A1.
Yep. So clearly somebody that should be in charge of that position.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan was literally in cahoots with Vince McMahon, who, as you may know, is a disgraced sexual criminal and bully. Hulk Hogan also has been exposed online using the N-word with a hard R multiple times, talking about how he doesn't want his daughter to ever bring home a black person, even if it's just a friend. God forbid it's a boyfriend or a potential husband. I mean, he treated women like property. He spoke about them like pieces of meat. I mean, there really isn't anything positive to say about him. And it's such a shame that people like Ozzy Osbourne and Michael Jamal Warner passed away. Malcolm, sorry, I don't really know the guy.
I mean, you're 29 right now, so I'll forgive you until Saturday.
But like, you know, everybody gets taken in threes. I guess in the cosmic universe, two really awesome individuals like Ozzy and Malcolm had to be balanced out by taking out one massive piece of shit bigot like Hulk Hogan. So, you know,
the world is a little lighter because Hulk Hogan no longer darkens it.
Yeah. So that's my eulogy for Hulk Hogan. So.
Okay. Well, you know, the illustrious Daddy Cheeto is in the news always.
Always. Not for the stuff he wants either, which is funny.
Right. But, you know, we are constantly being bombarded by the Epstein files.
Oh, yeah.
And I love how the narrative changes.
Oh, man.
Right?
Just changes.
It just keeps changing. What I'm going to say is that when it was convenient for the current administration, they were going to expose the Epstein list.
Oh, man. He campaigned on it, talked about it all the time.
And all of the Epstein stuff, especially his assistant, happened during the first Trump administration.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why we didn't do, you know, all of that then, or I could hypothesize, but I don't know why we didn't do it then. But, you know, today we're blaming everybody and their sister and their brother and their little brother. And we're not taking any kind of personal responsibility. No. This administration does not.
Is anybody surprised?
Well, you got to look at Pam Bondi. First, all the stuff was being reviewed. Mm-hmm. Then the report and the list were on her desk.
Yeah.
And the next day or two, the list wasn't important. And she never had a list.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you going to believe?
Yeah.
Me or your own lying eyes?
Your ears that can hear and your eyes that can see. So to me, it's a little upsetting that I doubt we'll ever get to the bottom of it, because I think that there's a big conspiracy and not one of your kind of conspiracy theories.
No. Like the definition of a conspiracy, you know?
But what I do know is that there are people who have copies of those files even before they started to be tampered with. So at some point, maybe we'll get to see those files. And I'm not sure I want to.
But all I'm hearing in social media is like, well, those libs, they don't think about who on their side may be on there. Yeah, we do.
And we don't care.
And we don't care that they're on the list. We want them brought to justice.
Yeah.
Justice.
It's like people are like, oh, they love saying Bill Clinton. They're gonna like, Bill Clinton's all over those files. I'm like, cool, he can share his cell with them. I don't give a shit. Like, I really don't care.
I hope that that's not true, but if it is, prosecute.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will go on record as to say, when the names come out, you have to be able to understand what those records are saying, because this was somebody who was high society too, who was moving in and out of political and social circles. So just to be associated with him, like have a picture at a gala or something taken, doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. No.
So,
I mean, here's one thing that I thought was really funny, because Trump is in Scotland right now. And I'm sure you've seen the clips where he's clearly cheating at golf, which is so funny to me. Like, he lost his ball in the rough, and then his caddy just like throws a ball nearby and he starts playing off of it, which I know to some people seems like a very minor thing. But I mean, even in his personal time, this guy can't help but cheat. When he's not, I don't even think he was playing against anybody. He's literally playing by himself, and the guy can't even, play a fair game of golf. It's so funny that even at the lowest level of actual high stakes, even golf, the man cheats at, which is just so funny to me. But they were interviewing him because he flees the country to go to Scotland to work on this EU trade deal, which I think got solidified for 15% tariffs. Why the EU agreed to that's insane to me. But one thing that I thought was really funny is that the Scottish media has been pressing him about, the Epstein files. Which is funny because in the United States, he has completely attacked the press from pillar to post since he's been in the political sphere. Now he can actually pick and prune who's in the room to talk to him. In Scotland, he didn't have that luxury.
Right.
So almost every question went back to, does this have anything to do with your Epstein file scandal? And
also there were protests.
Yeah.
I think his administration called them riots at one point, but they were protests. They were not violent or in any way anything but peaceful protest. There was chanting where the Scottish people were saying, don't come to our country.
Yeah, well,
we don't want you here.
Scotland really doesn't like Trump anyways, but one thing I thought was so telling and so funny is that one of the reporters asked him, again, they're pressing him about his connections to Epstein. And finally, Trump goes, yeah, I never associated with Jeffrey Epstein after this one unforgivable thing that I knew that he did. So everybody was like, oh, okay, so he's going to admit, like he has in the past, on record, saying that Epstein liked underage girls. Do you know what the excuse was that he gave?
I never had the privilege
of
going to the island, too.
Well, yeah, he used the term privilege, which I don't know if that's a privilege, but he said that Jeffrey Epstein hired people that worked for Trump, and he told them not to poach his employees, and he did it anyways. That was what broke their friendship off.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the underage girl thing,
right.
But that was the worst thing that could have possibly happened to Trump, that he was like, yeah, I don't like you anymore.
Yeah, I'm over the entire thing. I want it to be resolved.
I'm just going to say this because you know me, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I feel like if they do release a list under this administration, and Ghislaine Maxwell is currently appealing her indictment and her conviction, I feel like they're basically going to say, hey, we'll give you a pardon if you just say this list of people were involved. Yeah. And it will be a purge, which, by the way,
I don't think she's ready to do that.
I don't think she is either.
Yeah. I think that based on her going to the Supreme Court and her, and the way that the Trump administration has treated her and what she stands to lose.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. But
shout out to that South Park episode that came out, though. God, that was funny as hell.
I saw a TikTok where one of the people from South Park, an HR director from South Park, was doing a TikTok like they were, we're sorry. We're going to rename South Park Trump Park. We're sorry.
It was funny.
Oh, man.
We've been talking a lot about you turning 30.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And we were getting a little concerned because your birthday happens during CreepyCon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to talk about CreepyCon for a minute. It's this weekend. It happens on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
CreepyCon.com online.
I think by the time this episode comes out, we'll probably have already
been there.
Attended it. Yeah.
But CreepyCon.
Retroactively, thank you to everybody that said hello, stop by the booth, all that other stuff.
Yeah. You can get tickets by just looking up CreepyCon 2025. General admission tickets are fairly inexpensive. I think that they're running like $15 for general admission, and they're $35 or something for others. I'm not real sure how ticket sales are going, but regardless, we're going to be at CreepyCon. There's stuff on our social media and on our webpage to get you to there under social media. And we're really looking forward to it. We're really tired right now, so don't let us not sound like we're enthused.
The moment we get in that convention center, all the energy is going to come back. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we get to we Jacob and I and Jared, we get to go down on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And we set up the whole booth and the whole experience for our listeners and for the CreepyCon attendees. And that's where our excitement starts, because we get to go and we get to be with all the people up front. And then we get to take a break. We don't have to be back at the event on Friday until I think it's 4:30.
Nice.
So we've been a little concerned because we really need Jacob. He's one of the key leaders for our marketing teams, and we really need him, but it's also his birthday. And so we've been trying to shove the schedule around so that he could have an evening with his boys. We knew they were planning something. They were keeping it very hush-hush. They know that Jared and I were planning something too, but they were keeping it very hush-hush. So we were trying to give them space to do the thing. And little did we know that they were going to do it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And as you know, as if one wasn't good enough, Jacob is a twin.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get the good twin, but we got one of the twins. And so Zach's partners jumped in with your partners and threw a little celebration for y'all. I want you to talk about that because it sounded wonderful.
Can I just say how ironic, me of all people being the conspiracy theorist that I am, couldn't suss out a conspiracy theory right under my fucking nose. It was unbelievable. So they had apparently made a secret little group chat, the four of them, and they did it in such a conniving, sneaky sort of way that it wasn't until we were actually sitting at the restaurant that it all came to light, essentially. So to give just a little bit of context, my partners and Zach's partners, we go out and get dinner together. I would say frequently, you know. So when they asked, hey, do you guys want to go get Korean barbecue? They know that me and Zach love Korean barbecue. So we're like, fuck yeah, we'll go. And it seemed like any other type of evening, Saturday evening, let's go get some food, whatever. And every time me and Zach go out to Korean barbecue, we love spoiling our partners. And I know you do too, Ed. So you take a certain joy and pride in providing and paying for things, okay? So me and Zach, I mean, I'm sure you understand this. We order, when we know that we're paying for it, we order exorbitant amounts of
whatever
stuff.
y'all want.
Exactly. As opposed to if I knew somebody was paying for me, I would just get like, one drink and a cheaper meal or something like that.
And you know what?
What?
That fucking pisses me off when people do that. Like, I take you to dinner because I want you to have what you want.
See, and me and Zach feel the same way, right? So when we sat down, we got beer towers, we got bottles of soju, we ordered prime rib, appetizers. Korean barbecue is expensive if you just bring a big enough group of people. And it wasn't until it was time for the check to come around that Zach's partner, Jay, shout out Jay, I really appreciate the stitched alien you got me for my birthday. It was super sick. But they said, just one check, and under zero circumstances can these two pay. And me and Zach were like, what the fuck is going on here? And then we were like, wait a second, you guys were planning this, weren't you? And when I asked them, I said, why did you guys choose to do it a week early? They said, we know you guys never celebrate your birthday, so technically it's not your birthday, so you guys can't bitch about it. And I started to be like, well, technically blah, 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 this. And then Zach looked at me and he went, shut the fuck up, Jacob. They're right. Let's just enjoy it. And then this is where it got even more sneaky. They said, hey, since we're all here together, let's go back to your apartment, Jacob, and we'll have a game night. Play video games, play Magic the Gathering, whatever. Again, a normal type of evening. Might happen. Yeah, exactly. They snuck in to my apartment. Mytho let them in, and they decorated everything. They had streamers, doorways, banners, hung up with balloons. And then Mytho made me and Zach the best birthday cake I think has ever been made. It was 2 or 3 tiers of unopened PBR cans that had cupcakes with candles on top of the cans, and then candles that said 30 and
old. It said old.
It said old. And it was just such a touching moment that when me and Zach walked in, I mean, it literally brought us to tears. We've never had anybody do this for us. I mean, we stopped celebrating our birthday after we turned 13.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to get too much into what me and Zach said because it was very personal, but I do agree with what Zach said. He said, Jacob, I think we do deserve to be loved.
You do. And tell me you didn't have a little tear.
Oh, no, me and Zach were crying. We were sobbing. And then we just had a fantastic night. I mean, we listened to Willie Nelson. We played video games. They got me one of my favorite beers, which is from the Philippines, San Miguel. Zach drinks Guinness because he's a cold-hearted bastard. So, and they gave us some great gifts, some really funny gifts. And then I will say this much. When me and Zach drink together, we try to one-up each other with physical feats of strength. I have to highlight this because it was insane. I have a 35-pound kettlebell that was in my living room.
You have a kettlebell at home?
Yes. I don't know if I've ever brought that up before, but me and Zach are doing things to try to outdo each other or whatever. And then Zach goes, watch this. And he takes his middle finger, okay, hooks the kettlebell. So his middle finger is all the grip that he has on this 35-pound kettlebell. And he just starts curling it and pressing it above his head. This kettlebell is heavy enough, by the way, 35 pounds. None of our partners could do a bicep curl with it. With a full grip, Zach was able just to do it with his middle finger.
Were you able to?
No, I couldn't even do it with 2. I could get away with 3, but 1 felt like I was going to break.
Do you remember the episode where we roasted you and you thought that 35-pound kettlebell was like the big deal that you'd done like 4 of them or something?
Yeah, exactly. It was insane.
If you're wondering, I'm just staring at him.
It was.
You said something. You listened to Willie Nelson. Did you happen to listen to Willie Nelson when his song, or not his song, it's actually Orville Peck's song that he sang on?
No.
Yeah, you should listen to that.
Well, specifically,
cowboys are frequently secretly fond of each other. That's the name of the song.
Willie Nelson's the GOAT, dude. No, we actually dusted off. I have a vinyl record collection, and my most prized possession in that collection is an actual vinyl record called Sweet Memories. It's not even on Spotify. It was just one of the many albums that he released, and it was my dad's.
Oh, cool.
So we got to enjoy turning 30 listening to this album that my dad had. And I will say this, Ed, in all of the experiences of all of the joys that I've had in this life, that day will be one of my most cherished memories.
That makes me happy. Well, first of all, I need to say something about this whole thing.
Okay.
Right? One, you and Zach are more than entitled to be loved.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? More than entitled. You may not be worth a shit, but you're entitled to be loved. Okay? And one, Jared and I love you. And that's why since we met you and you said, I don't celebrate my birthday, we never have agreed to that.
Yeah, I know. You guys just completely disregarded that.
That's bullshit. We celebrate the people we love, especially on their birthdays. So I'm not going to give you any of the details.
Oh, no.
But you've wished for something for a long time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It may be a thing or not a thing.
Okay.
But you've wished for something for a long time. I can't make you taller.
Damn it, Ed.
But what I'll say is that I can grant it to you for one day. Okay. So just be aware of that. We have a lot of things that we have in store for you Saturday.
Oh, no.
And then Sunday, we are taking the entire marketing staff out to one of your favorite places.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
We are going to Sunspot.
Oh, yes. And I won't have acrylic press on it this time.
But we want to invite your partners too.
Oh, of course. Of course.
We're going to meet a new member of the tribe that day. Presley is going to bring his new bow.
Oh, nice.
So it'll be a nice evening, but it'll be a continuation of your birthday.
Man, talk about a long birthday
weekend. Well, we believe in birthday months, so it may not be over quite yet. Just to circle back, CreepyCon is this weekend. I wanted to give the schedule a little bit clearer. Friday, 5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, 11 to 8. It's a 9-hour day.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Sunday, 12 to 5. Okay? So we'll have an early dinner and then go crash.
Yeah. Just collapse afterwards.
But if you want to go to ravensville.com, you can go there and click on Cons and Expos 2025 and then click on CreepyCon, and we have a link to purchase tickets there for them. Wonderful con, thousands of people, just highlight of our year.
I've yet to have a bad experience at CreepyCon.
One of the things that makes me really happy is that we get to see a lot of people, including the people who promote and created the FrankenCon.
Yeah.
Will be there. So we'll get to see all those people. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and close this out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to do something a little different. I've been thinking of a bunch of stuff. And so I knew that the only way I could get through what I wanted to do is to write and deliver a tribute. Okay. So.
A tribute to whom?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
There are names that rattle through the bones of music history. And then there's Ozzy Osbourne, a force of nature who didn't just shape heavy metal, but tore through its boundaries with raw magic and untamed fire. Born John Michael Osbourne on December 3rd, 1948, in Birmingham's working-class grid, Ozzy clawed his way out of obscurity with a voice that was more incantation than melody. Haunting, magnetic, immortal. His life was a testament to not just music, but to survival itself. He wasn't simply the lead vocalist for Black Sabbath. He was its soul. The early 70s saw a seismic shift when the albums Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath landed like thunderbolts and rewrote the DNA of rock and roll forever. These albums weren't just sounds. They were sermons to the misfits and the dreamers and the rebellious hearts. For me, it all began October 1970. I was just a kid with a restless spirit when my cousin Sharon dropped the needle on Paranoid. That moment didn't just introduce me to Ozzy. It baptized me into something sacred. Iron Man, War Pigs, Hand of Doom, these songs didn't play. They possessed me. Since then, I've chased every Black Sabbath vinyl like it was Holy Scripture. I needed them. Then came December 2nd, 1978. I was 12. And backstage at the Knoxville Coliseum, through the grace of my father's connections to the music industry, I met the legend himself. I not only got to shake the hands of Black Sabbath, but I got to look Ozzy Osbourne in the eye. That night branded my soul. It wasn't just fandom, it was reverence. Then May in 1981 carved out another chapter in my life. 15 years old, illegally drunk, a little drunk, standing in the crowd, electrified by Ozzy's first solo performance on the Blizzard of Oz tour. It was more than a concert. In my inebriated state, it was rebirth. He was no echo of Black Sabbath. He soared as a titan born of his own storm. The air that night vibrated with Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley, and I knew this man wasn't fading. He was ascending. Dramatic? Yes. But I was a drunk 15-year-old. To me, this was nirvana. Fast forward to September 3rd, 2010, I'm 44 years old with a heart full of memories, standing in awe as Ozzy tore through his Scream tour. The decades hadn't dulled his fire. They had just distilled it. Every note was a rage against time. He reminded us all that rebellion isn't quiet. It screams into the void. But what made Ozzy unforgettable wasn't just the music. It's the man behind the myth. Take, for example, the reality show The Osbournes that cracked the door open on his life, revealing a father, a husband, a human unafraid of showing his flaws. And through laughter and chaos and frankness, we saw a man fighting his addictions, wrestling with Parkinson's disease, and still loving life fiercely. He wasn't hiding his battles. He wore them like badges of honor, like scars, and he let us see them. His influence spilled across pop culture like wildfire, from The Simpsons to SpongeBob. He was everywhere, and always unmistakably himself. Even in 28 episodes of the reality show The Osbournes Want to Believe, he leaned into the weird and wondrous, skeptical yet open-hearted, a curious soul dancing with the supernatural as he tried to make sense of the paranormal. On July 5th, 2025, at Villa Park in Birmingham, England, he went back home. And Ozzy played his last concert. Seated on a throne befitting the Prince of Darkness, this event marked the end of his touring career and was a magnificent, significant moment for Ozzy and his fans. And 17 days later, on July 22nd, time stopped. At 74, Ozzy left us. And although the details are still unfolding, the grief is inevitable. Parkinson's and his history with addiction may have played a role, but his courage in facing those battles turned his pain into power. He became not just a voice of a generation, but a lifeline to those drowning in their own shadows. In one of the most poignant revelations of his life, Ozzy told Spin in 1989 about his Christian faith. Yeah, the Prince of Darkness was Christian. Armed with crucifixes and chaos, he held a quiet belief that light existed even in the abyss. It certainly added depth to his saga. A man forged in turmoil, yet lit by hope. So today, I don't just mourn a musician. I'm celebrating a movement, a rebel heart, a man who showed that it's okay to fall, to bleed, to rise again, louder, wiser, and unbreakable. Ozzy's legacy isn't etched in stone. It's written in fire. In every riff, every lyric, every trembling soul who found solace in his lyrics, his story is our anthem. Chaotic, beautiful, and defiantly human.
I got nothing to add to that. That was beautiful, Ed.
Thank you. So, listeners, that's it for this episode. We want to thank you for being here, and we're just going to end it on a quiet note. See you next week, Jacob.
See ya.
Now, family, you adults have a few chores to do. Go on over to ravensvale.com and see about doing your chores on social media. Follow us on all the social media platforms that we've made available just for you folks. Like, listen, subscribe, and follow wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you don't mind, leave us a good rating and a kind comment. You can find The Cauldron on your favorite podcast platform. And again, make sure you hit that follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes.
The Cauldron is a production of Small Raven Media. Today's episode was hosted by Ed Bolden-Greer and Jacob A. Garner. Audio engineering and sound design by Nick Devan at Nicky D Sound. Copyrighted 2025, Small Raven Media. All rights reserved.